I got with black women that go date outside their race is not the fact that they're dating outside their race. It's the fact that they start shitting on black men because they're dealing with a Tom and Jerry. Like, cause it's so weird to me because when they were fucking with black dudes, they were fucking with the hood dudes, the bad boys, the guys that they knew was getting all the women that weren't loyal. They were getting all the F boys, right? And then they switch to get a white man, and they get a blue-collar white man, a country white man that believes in traditional roles and X, Y, and Z. It's like, bitch, you could have just found a black man that did all of those things. But the problem is women that date outside their race, when they go from dating a black man to a white man, they deal with the complete opposite, and then they think it's a black man issue instead of a them choosing issue. Like, that shit just mind-blowing because when you...
Hey guys, hi YouTube, welcome back to my channel. So I was watching a video that I came across of this black guy that was pretty much saying that why is it that when black women date outside their race, they start talking badly about black men. And I'm like, that's not true. Not all of us do. I think sometimes, you know, people are speaking from their experience, and that may seem like they're talking badly about it. I definitely had my share of trying to date some black men in America and also dating African men, because there's black men all over the world, right? So you can't just say that it's, you know, just in America. So the experience was not good, but I also took my share of the blame that I didn't vet them that well. You know, I met somebody who was maybe lived where I lived, which was not a good area. Location sometimes plays a role in the quality of people you're meeting. So in that area, I was meeting people that who looks good, and they'll be like, hey, here's my number, call me. And when we were talking, sometimes the conversations went nowhere. Sometimes we did talk, we did hang out, go on dates and things like that. And then there's times where I was put in situations that were just risque. Like I could have been easily, you know, thrown in jail somewhere because I was like, oh, I don't know what was going on. And finding out like some had like baby mamas all over, and it's just a hot mess. So for me, but still, I would not say like, oh, black men are this, a black man are that, because I do have, I mean, my brother and my dad, you know what I mean? Like, I wouldn't do that just because I'm dating outside of my race. And if anything, I've tried to share that because I'm dating outside my race, it doesn't mean that if you meet, for example, all Latino men, they're going to be a certain way. No, this is my experience. And I make sure to say that because people, some black men, two of them, I think on TikTok, left me a message saying something like, oh, wait till the Mexican man, you know, starts drinking and it starts abusing you. Then you're going to be like crying and coming back like this and that. And I'm like, that's negative energy. Like, you should never say that, because if anything, we should be happy for people that are happy, people that are in good quality relationships. That's all it is at the end of the day. The back and forth of, you know, with black women saying this and black men saying that, at the end of the day, it's not necessary because you are in that relationship. You're enjoying it. And good for you, you know? So I disagree with the part where he said that people do talk badly, black women talk badly about black men when they get into that, because I have to be very careful of that and mindful whenever I'm posting videos. It's like, I'm not trying to say that black men are bad, and all of them. The experience that I had were not great. They were not great, and I was really upset at some points. But I've never tried to come on here and really talk badly like black men are the worst and you should never, you know? No. It's just that you have to really take your time and vet the process, because I went through, I think, one guy that was almost serious, and I told him the process, like, hey, I'm African. We have certain cultural things that we have to do when you want to get involved with a woman. For example, we're not just going to date and date and date, and you are not intending to meet my parents at some point to do the introductions and eventually talk about marriage. And he said he was fine with that, but then later on he freaked out and he was like, oh, I don't know if I want to do that. So at the end of the day, it didn't work out, you know? So that was what I was having issues with, where, you know, it's all fun and games when the dating and, you know, you're hanging out. But when you start talking about serious stuff, now they're like, okay, I'm not ready for that. And really to be like going to sit on the table with my dad, like, and all this. But then there's black men that have done that I've met, you know, African women, and they're happy to do that. So at the time, you know, I was like early 20s, you know, so I was also young. So I think that maybe also played a role in the people that I was kind of not vetting them very well, you know. But if I took my time, let's say that I waited and waited and I was really doing this process, yeah, I could have easily maybe met another black man that was way better. But I happened to be in long-term relationship back to back, and when I got back on a dating app, I was like in my 30s. So I met my husband, and it was like things were great, and I was like, okay, well, why not, you know? So I didn't have an opportunity to go back and be like, let me go try and see if I can really take my time. When I did date African men who are supposedly supposed to be a little bit better, my thing was there's a disconnect. And I think it's just because I've been here in the US for a really long time. I started having feeling like we just didn't connect very well. And I noticed like, even though I'm not the most affectionate person, I noticed that a lot of African men that I was meeting, they were not very affectionate. It's like, okay, they provide and they take care of business, but when it comes down to just this treatment, compared to how my husband treat me, I wasn't getting that too much. It was almost like I was getting it, but not quite how I wanted it. And I felt like I was constantly questioning myself when I was around a lot of African men, and I didn't like that feeling. I felt like something about me had to change, you know? And so I started feeling very uncomfortable. And so when I went back on a dating app, I was open. You know, if anything, be open-minded. And like, whatever happens, right? So that's what I did. I didn't know who I was going to run into, but I was open. I prayed to God. I was like, I want to meet somebody stable, somebody who's family-oriented, somebody that wants to be a dad and is happy about it, somebody who just is really, really all about me. And that was my prayer. Like, literally, like, I hope his character is good and he's kind, you know, and that's what God led me to. So it didn't matter what race that came in. So I've seen black men that are also doing the same thing when black women are dating outside. So it's back and forth. And I think that's really unfortunate because it shouldn't be. It's just let's all enjoy. If we want to be dabbling in interracial, then go ahead for it. I'm not against it. Early on, like when I was early 20s, I was kind of stuck on this thing where I'm supposed to be with an African man. I'm supposed to meet a black man or whatever. But then I realized that most of the time it wasn't working out. So I was like, maybe I just need to be out there finding somebody else, you know? And I'm glad I did. So at the end of the day, you know, if you're on social media, at some point you're going to see the back and forth of, you know, people talking back and forth, like black women saying this about the black women, the black men they're not dating, and the black men talking about this. It goes back and forth all day, every day. So if anything, we just need to let people be and let people enjoy their relationships, whatever that. The one thing that does bother me, though, even though black men are saying that, they are not saying like bad things towards black women who are dating interracially, is the treatment that I've gotten that's kind of strange to me is when I'm with my husband somewhere, I've noticed that a lot of black men will still come up to me and try to talk to me. It's almost like disrespectful. Like, I don't understand what the issue is. It's like you see me with him. So what is that about? And it's almost like, oh, he's not really there. But let's come and talk because they're smooth. If anything, black men that I was dating that are Americans, they were smooth with it. They would come up, be like, here's my number, you know, call me, you're looking good, blah, blah, blah. They have that. So I've noticed that that has happened over times when I went somewhere with my husband. And I feel like the black men approach and they act like they don't see my husband. And that is the one thing that really bothers me. We do get occasional stares here and there, but, you know, it's not anything. And when it comes to like Mexican people, the events that I've gone to, places that I've gone to, I've gotten some stares, but it's not bad, honestly, guys. Like, I felt very welcomed. And that's why I say that my experience overall has been good. But I would never go and say, oh, all Mexican people are going to be, embracing you as a black woman if you are dating. You know, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that my experience overall has left me, it's been positive. So that's my point, you know? So at the end of the day, I think if we could just watch how we talk about certain things, you know, I posted a video a while back where this black guy was like, get you an Asian woman, because somehow an Asian woman seems to be more submissive. She'll do whatever you ask, you know, and things like that, almost making it seem like, oh, did you date black women before and they were not doing that for you? That has nothing to do with race. I think if you are a couple, you guys do whatever to make the relationship work. If it means, hey, I'm cooking something for you, you're doing the laundry, whatever works for that relationship. It doesn't mean that black women are not going to do that for you. So those are the things that I also get bothered by when I see them, because it's like, oh, black men are also doing that. They are talking badly sometimes when they see a black woman dating outside. You know, saying things like, oh, wait till somebody starts drinking and your Mexican husband is going to start hitting you when he starts drinking. And I'm like, he's never drunk. Like, if anything, his health is important to him, to the point where, you know, his doctor was like, you cannot touch alcohol. And he's never touched it. So don't assume things, you know. that is just my whole point, guys. So yeah, that's really what I was thinking, because I came across a video. It seemed like he was like, I'm all for black women dating outside their race, but you guys are talking down on black men when you do, and things like that. And I'm like, no, not everyone. Not everyone, because like, what is the point of attacking somebody just because you're in with somebody different? I don't. Anyway, all right, guys.